Guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to talk about my 3 rules to manage risk properly as a credit spreads trader. Because the thing is, if you manage risk too much, you're going to miss out on the upside of your trades, which is going to be where a bulk of your profits come from. But if you don't manage them correctly, then your losses will be so large that it's not going to help you because it's going to be way more than the money you ever make. So anyways, let's talk about the 3 rules that I've learned and that I implement and that I teach and make sure all my students follow. So anyways, here are the 3 rules. Number 1, we need to talk about our trading size. What is our size when we are trading? We use the 10% rule, but again, it can be adjusted, and I'll talk about how that works. The 10% rule is this. If you're using a strategy like the ones that I use, which you can use for yourself, I have a strategy handbook, no email, no nothing required, linked in the description below, because we know that these strategies have a 90+% win rate, and we're going to collect enough money. We know we can use a 10% rule here, which is of the max loss, which means we enter a credit spread trade, which is a defined risk trade, we know what our max loss is. So for instance, let's say we can enter a $1 wide spread for 20 cents. Okay, so 20 cents. If we can enter it for 20 cents and it's a $1 wide, just like that, that means we know our risk for that trade is 80 cents per spread. So if I'm only in one spread, my risk for this trade is $80. Okay, so for this spread, I'm risking $80 to put on this trade. So $80 to put on this trade. So if I'm risking $80, how large should my account size be? It should at least be $800, my account size. Just like this, 800. Why? Well, because 10% of 800 is 80. So we want our max loss to be no more than 10%. That's kind of how the 10% rule works. So another way to do it is be like, okay, cool. I have a 5K account. What is my max position size I can take? Well, if I'm following the 10% rule, 5K times 0.1 is going to equal 500. So that means my max loss for any one trade can be $500. So now we determine what is the max loss for a single spread. Well, let's say the max loss is 50 per spread. That means that I can enter 10 spreads. So that is kind of how we determine that. Our max loss should be no more than 10% of our entire account. Now, yes, 10% is a large number. Some people aren't okay with that risk. 10% is the maximum. Like, it's your highest risk. Don't go above 10%. But people who are safer like me, I sit around 4 to 5%. I risk no more than 4 to 5% on every single trade. So I sit in this range. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm living, I'm fine. You need to find what percentage is right for you and for your account. Now remember, the higher the percentage, the higher your overall portfolio growth, but also the higher your risk. So again, most of my students do around 10%. I do around 4 to 5% because that's where I'm comfortable and safe with my 6-figure trading account. All right, number 3, after trading size, we need to talk about how do we manage our losers. And so there's 2 ways to do that. Number 1, which is risk management rule number 2, is going to be our early exit rules. Okay, this has been proven over backtests. If you exit trades early, you're going to increase your win rate. Why? Because you take money off the table, which means you take risk off the table and allows you to get into another trade and therefore collect theta, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, what you need to know is that getting out of trades early are beneficial. Now, how do we know when to get out of trades? How we get out of trades here at 10% credit spreads is this. If we can exit a trade for 5 cents or less, then guess what? We get out of that trade. I should probably do like this. 0, 2.05. Anything between this range, we get out of the trade. Now again, I should also say that plus 5 days left in the trade. Now this again, I've proven this via backtest. So if you want to see those backtests, just leave a comment down below or send me an email to hello@theimpeccableiinvestor.com. But anyways, if we can close out a trade for 5 cents or less, and when there's 5 days left until expiration, or at least five or more days, then we should close early. Why? Because there's no point having that much risk on the table when we can take a majority of the profit off the table. So if we can take a majority of the profit off the table, then we should do that and then take that money we made and filter it into the next trade. If there's less than 5 days until expiration and it's trading at this price, then again, you can always sell early if you want, but you can also just let it expire worthless and therefore collect most of the money. So instead of paying back, let's say 3 cents, you get to keep that 3 cents or $3. So that is early. That is one of our early exit rules. And number 2 is when it comes down to the day of expiration. On the day of expiration, we hold all our trades until expiration, even if they're losers. Wow, that's crazy. Why? Because theta decay will make our losers worth less. And so that's kind of cool. But not only that, is if on expiration day, we can close that trade for less than what our max loss is, then we're winning, right? Because regardless of how much our trade goes against us, we're only ever going to experience that max loss. So why not hold until expiration day and to see if we can close it for less, right? And so that's the beautiful part about waiting until expiration. When you wait until expiration, you still have the same max loss regardless, but maybe you can exit a bit early and have a smaller loss than you would if you took the whole max loss. Anyways, that's how we do it with expiration. There's a few more specifics, but I'm going to save that for my inner circle members only. All right, next, the third rule to manage risk is stop loss rules. Now, again, what should your stop loss rule be? I don't use stop loss rules. Why? Because that's not what my strategy says. I kind of explain my whole risk idea behind the strategies that we trade, but a stop loss is very important. If you want to learn more about stop losses, I can't teach it here because I don't do it. Is going to be to go to tastylive.com, search up credit spreads. They have an 11-year back test. What they recommend is a 50% profit. Why do I not like that? Because of all the back tests I've done, a 50% profit is not enough to offset your losers. Anyways, enough said. This is how you manage risk with credit spreads. If you learned something, please thumbs up and subscribe because I make videos to help you become a better credit spreads trader, and that's what I'm here for. Anyways, guys, see you in the next video and hope you become a subscriber. It's free. Just click down below.